Hello, I'm Pastor Joe, and welcome to Impacts. Impacts is a new video teaching series that seeks to offer you very practical helps, tips, and ideas to nurture your faith in, your commitment to, and your relationship with Jesus Christ. So come on, let's go get started. You know, when it comes to prayer, there's no one way to pray. There's no right or wrong way to pray. And right now, we're focusing on prayer in terms of being that intentional, dedicated time of prayer. And for me, this is that, what I would call my big prayer, whatever that means, of the day. And whenever I start talking with people about what this means and praying in this way, they begin to ask questions like, well, what do I pray for? How do I know what to pray for? And I can't remember what I wanted to pray for. Honestly, this is where prayer gets fun, because we need to remember that prayer is more art form rather than science. So we need to relax and just enjoy the time and be somewhat creative with it. For me, I think it's important when we're talking about our committed prayer time each day to make a list, to write down what it is we want to pray for. And there's a lot of ways that we can do this. I know people that in their Bible, they have a piece of paper or a card that they keep their prayer list on, and then each day when they begin to read their Bible, they have it and they can pray through it then. I know others that will use a journal and will keep a prayer list in that and kind of keep up with how they've been praying for things. Others use their computers or their smartphone and keep their list going there. It really doesn't matter where or how you keep your list, just whatever works for you and whatever you're comfortable with. So once you decide how you want to keep your prayer list, how do you structure your prayer? Well, I think one of the things we need to do is remember that we are part of the family of God. And that is no small family. In fact, it's a very large and wide family. In fact, I think we turn to Acts chapter 1, verse 8, where Jesus says to his disciples that you're going to be my disciples in Jerusalem, in Judea, and Samaria, and to the ends of the world. And the way we can understand this is that what Jesus is really saying is you're going to be my witnesses, my disciples, in your local city, in your state, your country, and then throughout the whole world. And so when we begin thinking about our prayer list, an image I want to offer to you is a funnel. Really? Yeah, a funnel. Think of the image of a funnel. It's wide at the top, and as it comes down, it gets more and more narrow. And that's the way I typically will structure my prayer list and my prayer time. I begin by praying for events throughout the world. And then I begin to narrow that down a little bit, and I pray for things going on in this country. Now, both of those, there's plenty of things to be praying for. And after I pray for our country, I begin to pray for things in our state and our local community. Then I start praying for what's going on in our church, my family, and I end by lifting up my own personal prayer needs. So during this week, have fun with that. Don't worry about how short or how long your list may be. If it's too short, as you pray regularly, it's going to get longer. And if it's too long, don't worry about that, because you don't have to pray the whole list every day. You could take parts of it and just lift some of those up each day and kind of rotate that and work your way through. So my challenge for you this week is to get a piece of paper, your computer, whatever you're going to do, however you're going to do your prayer list. And go ahead and write down world, country, state and community, church, your family, and yourself, and begin to write down the specific needs, whether it's events or people, and then begin praying through it. And then I also want to invite you to join us next week. We're going to start looking at some prayer models, how to structure that prayer. There's quite a few that I will rotate through that help keep my prayer life fresh and not being too repetitive. I encourage you to like and share this video. Also, if you have any suggested topics for things we might cover when we're through with prayer, then feel free to leave comments in the section below. And look, I look forward to seeing you next week. And until we get together again, may God's blessings be with you.